Welcome to Andy and Ari On3, our continuing series, getting you ready for EA College Football 26. And the Road to Glory mode is the one I've been most excited to talk about because it feels like it is the most different of all of the different play modes. Because obviously play now, we're all used to that. We've been doing that since we were little kids. And then Dynasty mode, you've done that. You've built your teams. Road to Glory now feels like something that I think, Ari, a lot of the people who subscribe to On3 will really appreciate, because we are deep into the process, into the how do you get recruited? How does the recruiting process go? How do you pick your schools? So you've always had this ability to create your player and kind of take him through his career. You could port him up to Madden afterward. Now, though, instead of you creating this player and him existing in a vacuum, he is a member of a 4,100 person recruiting class. So you now are a recruit, like a real recruit. You have coaches who are real coaches recruiting you. You have these sort of side quests that they'll send you on. They'll say, okay, we need to see you catch 2 touchdown passes in your high school game this week. And then you have to go do that. And you can get more offers, or you can get better offers that way. And it, like, most of us didn't get to be 5-star recruits. Now you might actually get to feel like one.
Yeah, and I think that the best part about it too is that when you're playing with your character, you don't start as a 5-star recruit. You start, lower, and then you can work your way up into, it almost feels like a camp circuit, but in a different way, where you complete challenges and your player becomes more sought after, you get more offers, and thus your rating goes up. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, and the more you do, the better it gets, and different coaches might challenge you in different ways. Like to get an offer from a school, you may have to complete a quest, for lack of a better term, or to be the guy that school wants. They might drop somebody else off their board if you can do this stuff, and you'll be the number one guy on the board. So it's a lot of fun. Now, they don't have the NIL aspect of it yet. I think they're going to. Just from talking to the people who develop the game, I think the way they feel about it is it's such a changing, moving target that they didn't want to put something into the game that all of a sudden real life shifts, and it's not like that at all.
Yeah, it's like let the sport settle and then you can do it. And also, too, there are so many different things that you can add into it. And I know that the people at EA who are making this game pride themselves on making it as realistic as humanly possible and it mirroring the actual sport. But, there are things about NIL that we don't even know, let alone, would be able to put into a functional application too, because it's so erratic, it's so sporadic. And, I understand that. But I think hopefully once we get to a place where there's some identifiable rules of how this is supposed to go, maybe there'll be a Deloitte logo in there one day. Maybe there will be
you can send your NIL deals into NIL Go.
Yeah, great. Or you could just get a judge to go into the game so that they can hit his gavel and say this isn't going to work. Whatever you want to do. But also too, the NIL aspect of it is the least interesting thing about it too. If you're just trying to enjoy the game, do you really care about NIL deals if you're trying to make a good
right? And what they've done is they've added some things, like they call them bonus traits. It's not money, but it's a bonus trait that at this school your career might start differently at this school than at this school. Like you may be able to be a starter, or you may be the most popular player on campus if you go to this school. So those are all things that are going to be thrown at you, and you will have real coaches, quote unquote, contact you. Like the one they showed us, there was a screen where Steve Sarkisian pops up and he says, here's our situation at Texas. And he basically describes the Arch Manning situation. He says, we've got a quarterback who's been waiting his turn and he's starting this year. And we think he's going to start for us next year too, but we'd love to have you waiting in the wings to replace him. And that is essentially the pitch that Steve Sarkisian actually made to 2026 recruits.
Yeah, Diabell, who also just won the Elite 11. So
exactly.
Yeah. So Andy, you've been geared up about this behind the scenes for the last few weeks, ever since you were able to play the game. What is the thing, the change, the feature that you're most excited about, or that people can sink their teeth into the most?
It's that there are other recruits. It's not just you in a vacuum. It's what other people do affects you. Like you may, let's say you fail on one of your quests, or even if you get it, there still may be some other guy who has a great couple of weeks in his high school season, and he gets more offers than you, and all of a sudden you've had an offer pulled because this guy's going, or you might be in a situation where you had to decide if you were going to take an offer or not, and it's gone, and somebody else took it. So everything else is going on around you as opposed to it just being you. And I think that's more realistic. That's what a real recruit goes through. Like a real recruit doesn't just, well, let's say we were talking about quarterbacks. A real quarterback recruit has to know what all the other quarterback recruits are doing too. They have to know, the schools that are recruiting them, but also who else is getting recruited by who else. And we actually had this situation in real life just this week. So Ryder Lyons, the quarterback recruit from California, class of 2026, he commits to BYU. Well, Oregon really wanted him. Oregon still really wants a quarterback in 2026. So the next person on their list is Bryson Beaver, who was committed to Boise State, but then reopened it when it became clear he might get a chance to go to Oregon. So that's going to happen in the game. So you might be sitting there waiting for an offer to come that's not coming, and then that guy commits to a different school, and all of a sudden some school's all over you.
Yeah, and of course this goes through once you decide where you want to go. Then you're that person at the college and try to win the Heisman and get drafted.
And you still and they've got they try to honeypot you. They got all kinds of ways to make, once you get in college, you make some bad decisions and not do the things you're supposed to do to have the best career you can. So you have to be careful there. You got to, decide you want to study instead of when somebody calls and says, "Hey, it's time to go out." You want to go out?
Does FOMO happen in the game? Because I'd be like, we're studying and partying, or we're never partying because there's no memories unless they bring in GTA 6 clip when you go out to play them. I don't know.
Well, GTA 6 will be out when College Football 27 comes out, so maybe there'll be a crossover.
Yeah, don't make any promises. We got a lot of things before we got GTA 6, but the last thing too that I don't know, and I know that everybody's fired up about, like, are you able to export your player to Madden yet? Like, does that?
I believe that is coming.
Okay,
I believe that is
coming.
coming.
Was the best part of doing it. Like when you finally got through the road, it wasn't Road to Glory or whatever, the create a player mechanism in the past, like you could put them into Madden. Like that was great.
Yeah.
But like the recruiting process, I know firsthand, having been a part of consulting calls and stuff with EA before the first one came out, how important it was for them to be right, how much detail they put into actually how recruiting works, what kind of offers you're getting, who you're able to get if you're doing a dynasty mode. All that stuff is really, really detailed, but like doing it from the other side of the spectrum would be a lot of fun. And I'm excited to try out this mechanism when it comes out.
Yeah. I like to see what it feels like. I was a 0-star recruit, and I'd like to see what it feels like to have some stars next to your name. And we all can.
So you tell me what it was like to be a 0-star recruit. I was cashing check for people in the drive-through line.
Oh, I was a wet and wild lifeguard too. Like the 0-star recruits still have the JOB. So
yeah. JOB job.
But July 10th, we all get to try to be 3-star, 4-star, 5-star recruits, and I, for one, can't wait because I am going to string some coaches along. And guess what? I forgot to mention this. You can do a hat ceremony.
Electric.
It's going to be amazing.